Kia ora from Aotearoa. This is Poppy speaking, and I'm just reporting on the current ninth wave, unity consciousness, mind calendar, time frequency pulses as they come in, helping us to evolve and ascend. So today is the day of 11 wind, and it's within that destiny road, Trisina. So we'll be finding more and more what our destiny is. And wind is the spirit, it's the breath of life, and it can help us to refine our destiny road and really stick to it so that we can be the most effective vessel as a human being here, doing our part in evolution, helping ourselves evolve and also our beautiful planet Papatūānuku. So in nature, I observe the wind as an intelligent spiritual force that blows in many ways to guide us. It spoke to me when I was a little girl and I was in the depths of despair. And while the fate constraints of mental captivity possessed the lives of those around me, nature would give me messages of hope and the strength to carry on in order to stay alive through the experiences that I took on in fulfilling my part of clearing suffering. Now, suffering is only the mental construct that goes with the pain. It's not the pain. Pain is actually here, as I've learned, to help us to navigate our path. If there is pain, then we can actually allow that to go into that, to give it attention and to give it focus for a little while so that it can move, because it's a sign that things aren't in alignment. It's a sign of old trauma that's hanging on. It's a sign of emotional causes for disease. So we're in this day wave of 9 deer where we're actually changing our whole way of how we heal ourselves, moving away from these old ways that were void of nature back into the movement of cosmic energy and all the herbs and the plants and everything that nature provides for our healing. These are the things that revive us, that are vital, that actually build our immune system, and they don't destroy it like artificial ways are proving to do. So, yeah, as a child I was exposed to a horrific sort of thing, satanic ritual abuse, which is, in my knowing, is at the bottom of this whole global crisis that we're going through. That's sort of been hidden over a mask of a disease. But it's interesting because dis-ease is something that sits on top of our greatest pain. So I've had to learn to ground and sink my starseed roots deeply with Papatūānuku in order to balance the spiritual messages delivered to me on the winds, the breath of life. And I found by doing that I am clearer. Without the anchoring in this grounded life force vitality, I used to feel as helpless as driftwood on a violent ocean, just being tossed around in life, not having any sense of my destiny path, what we were supposed to do. I'm sure that many people can relate. So we are to be completely connected with both our cosmic parents, to be purely and spiritually receptive to their guidance in our lives. The physical anchor is pivotal for grounded being and for a pure flow of breath to move freely within us. So this wind, this breath of life, is the movement of energy. It's known as ki, chi, prana, wairua, and many other names in many different cultures. So balanced with life force, or the modi, the vitality, we may feel called to express truth and to impart messages in the most loving and honest way to others, and ultimately for clearing away of mindsets that dishonor creation or keep people stuck in patterns of captivity. Every mental construct that established itself in the sixth wave of creation, when our brains were aligned mostly to the left side, is releasing now. So the sixth wave was, it started with the Babylonian slave driving techniques that were put in, the money system was created, science, modern versions of science, which gave a not such a true story on things like how particles move. It didn't have that quantum knowledge in it that we're sort of really discovering now. And then there was religions, which are really bindings of mental states. So it's really something that people believe by. And, there's great spiritual knowledge. There's been many masters who have come and they have shared their lives and their ways. And humanity has tended to make religion out of it, to get caught up in binding mental constructs that actually leave the pure essence of the spiritual teachings that those masters may have left behind. So 11 Wind in the Road Tresina, we are discovering our destiny roads after all this chaos and change. So this day wave of 9 Deer is what started in the storm Tresina. So storm still carries some energy through, and for another couple of days. It's been really beautiful today. The wind has been amazing, and there has been distant thunder, which to me is this beautiful movement of energy. So I know that in my inner world and my outer world, there's, and for many of us, there is this movement of energy which is transcending our current captivity, our current state of being. And the other thought that I've really had is that with the wind, you don't hear the sound of the wind, or the wind doesn't have the impact until it strikes the matter, until it strikes the physical something, and then that movement is there, that interaction is created, and that magic is there. And the wind speaks in so many different ways. Like, it speaks of hope so often. I've had wind just come up and into my life and blow and show me the most incredible things at different times, and I'm extremely grateful to the wind, which is the breath of life, which is the prana, which is what is in us, which is what gives the movement of spirit to come through our matter, to come through our modi, to come through our vitality, our life force, to actually make things happen, make things change, shift things back into the ways that are organic and natural, the ways that bless all of creation for everyone. And when we have this is when the honest communication can come through us. That spirit will sometimes just move us to speak, and it's almost like you just have to speak on an issue because spirit's moving us so strongly to do that. And it takes courage sometimes, especially when we've been meek and mild people that have always towed the lines, and we've let things control us, and we've let institutions and systems dominate our way of being. But no, when we become one with nature, and that's the physicality of this beautiful earth that we're with, Papatūānuku, and the spirituality, like the wind that comes through Ranganui, Father Sky, when we are anchored and purely connected with those two in our being, that's when we are empowered and things become clear. We manage to clear this old paradigm away. We manage to cut it away as the movement of spirit comes into our physical form, through the breath, through the honest communications, through the magic and the intelligence of the elements. So enjoy this movement of spirit. Be courageous, allow it to course through your being, invite it in. Spirituality has to have a strong physical platform for it to actually be true. Otherwise, we can just be tuning into any spiritual force that's there. Why not go for the purest, for the highest, for the best? Because you are that. We are that. We are 100% valuable. Each of us is contributing to the all. So blessings. I'm going to speak a little bit of that sort of wind language or light language that comes through the voice, through the expression. It's so important to express, especially for someone that's been suppressed and oppressed for a very, very long time, because otherwise that sickness gets held within the body. We need to express, we need to talk, we also need to listen, all in love, all in a divine flow. Kia lora shia sela ndore vesela koyara, ora mandia sele kia rendisha la kura tasla, ish umboe sele kia india voice lambu koyara, isyo la kura matia la katia kayara, kirunga a kiraro, kiroto a ki wahoa.